Alright, let's move on to some more detail on this part. Okay. So one of the things I want to do here is actually have some nice detail on the edge. So I'm gonna actually go use the slice curve, so BSI here. BSI. Right. And I'm gonna actually create a arc that is kind of like parallel to this line here. Actually, I'm gonna recreate these things. So Ctrl W to put everything together. I'm gonna do it myself. So I'm gonna create a slice curve here, but this slice curve will just slice one line, right? I want to slice two lines, so while I'm holding down Ctrl Shift, I can hold down space and use the radius. That's gonna allow me to use the radius on my brush to actually create two lines. As you can see now, when I start clip it, I have two lines. The smaller my brush is, the smaller the distance will be between those two lines. Okay. Just need a little smaller thing here in the middle, right? Alright. So now what I can do is I can basically use that as a tool to create some seam there. Probably need it to be just a little bit more small. Let me change the drill size to half of that. Let me just do it one more time, and this time I also go from all the way to the top to cut through this entire thing. Alright, cool. And then I'm gonna BZM again, and I'm gonna use the extrusion here. I'm gonna extrude our polygons, actually polygroup all. That's gonna allow me to just push this guy in. Okay. And I don't need the exterior face though, so when I'm extruding in, I'm gonna press Alt button to give them a different group. That's gonna allow me to get rid of this purple line here. So Ctrl Shift, click on that and that and that. And maybe these guys, right? So that's gonna give me this, and Ctrl Shift and click on this guy to reverse it. And that's gonna allow me to do a delay hidden. So just get rid of that. Now I have some, lines on the edge to kind of like fake some stitching there. It's not the only way, but it's kind of like clean sometimes compared to brush ways, and you don't really have to subdivide the model. Anyway, so that's some nice stitching on this side. I'm gonna go, if you look at the smooth preview by pressing D button, you can see some gap there. That's because we don't really crease that. So let's go to the sub tool, actually the geometry, right? And we can do crease right here to fix that right away. Okay, cool. So let's move on to something else. Maybe we can create some imperfection, like breaking holes here at the bottom. I'm gonna do that by using masking, freehand. Make my brush just a little bit bigger. Okay. Now I realized I probably need more geometry to do so, so I'm gonna actually Ctrl D to subdivide it, and then delete lower so that I have more geometry to work with. I'm gonna mask out these guys now, right? Not sure how exactly I want these guys to be, maybe just that. It's a little breaking part. Nothing fierce, I guess. Ctrl W to give that a group. Alright, now I can Ctrl Shift and click on it and click on it again to delete that by using delay hidden. And then I can try to smooth it. Now I have set it up my smooth brush to be able to do this. If yours cannot, you go to brush, smooth brush modifiers, and change the main connection to 1. That's going to allow you to smooth those edges. So first thing first, smooth that out, right? And then I'm going to use move to bring them closer if you wanted to. Right. It's now my freedom to define the shape I want, basically. Okay. Oops. Yeah, so you just use move to redefine the shape, and then if you're happy with the shape, one of the things you can probably also try to do is maybe you can give it some interior face, right? So you can do that here in ZBrush. You just need to first let me actually isolate that using the lasso masking, so I can basically use lasso to mask out the area around it. Control W to give that a group, and that way I can Control Shift and click on it to isolate it. Right, BDM for the modeler, I'm going to extrude out the polygon right here, and then I'm going to delete this edge here by using delete polyloop to get rid of that. Right, cool. Now I basically have some thickness on the edge, and it's also folding in just a little bit, so that when I smooth preview it, I got this nice edging. Okay. So you do see a little thickness now. I think that's sometimes maybe is important to you. Anyway, it's visually better. I don't know why I did that. Drag it back in. Okay, so that's another imperfection we can do here. Alright. Yeah, that's kind of an imperfection we can do here, and you can then, if you wanted more, you can subdivide it and start adding a lot of more detail on the edge. So let me do that. Control D, maybe twice. So I'm reaching millions of polygons now. I can then start sculpting on it. Let me check my... Oh, and the face is actually flipped on this guy. If you do that kind of like little trick there. If you turn up double, you can see the face is wrong there. So I'm going to Control Shift and click on it. I'm going to do a flip on this guy to fix that. Whoops. Probably should have done that before we subdivide it. So let's go back a few steps. Right, I'm gonna flip this guy. Let's just double check. Okay, now it's better. Not quite good. This middle part also needs to be fixed. Let's turn on the double. So the thickness in the middle is also wrong. Just need to fix that right away. Oops. Do a auto group so that I can get rid of the others. Okay. So now I can flip it. Okay. Should have done that earlier. But okay. So now it's good. Actually, also that part. It's not good yet. Let's go to the double here again. So I need this guy also to be flipped. No, this is all correct. Okay. So yeah, be aware of that. And then I'm gonna Control D to subdivide it twice, and I can use some brush around it to give it some more detail. I think I'm using the dynamic subdivision. Let me turn that off. Control D. So when you get like weird lagging, that's the problem. The dynamic subdivision is on, and it's gonna cause some problem. So I'm gonna use this some of the brushes here. I have to show some stroke on the edge, give it some random blending to the other side, to the interior, just to make this hole more interesting. That's one of the ways we can, of course, detail the garment. A little bit more variation on the edge. Alright. You may have affect the back too. So if you wanted to, you can turn on the back face masking. It's underneath brush, auto masking, and back face mask. I just want to go there faster, so I create a UI for everything I need. ZBrush has the worst UI in the universe, so you know, I don't really use it. I don't find it intuitive. I don't find it easier to find stuff. I don't think they really organize it. So a lot of things, for example, curve brush. If you want to create a curve brush, you have to go to all different menus for some weird reason. Yeah, so don't like it. Anyway, so I'm just gonna use this method again. Just try to add some detail on the edge. Of this hole, just to make it look like more like a real breaking part, right? So I can maybe cut some sharper edges on the areas, right? So it's like it's also breaking into the inside just a little bit. Right. Anyway. So yeah, that's the imperfection, right? I'm gonna leave just one hole there for now. If you wanted to, you can keep populating new holes, so or things like that. Okay. So now after that, we can then maybe go ahead and do some repetitive architecture on the geometry, so it doesn't look like so smooth. Okay. So we're gonna do that in the next tutorial.